from the corners of the country, from the cities and the farms, with years and years of living tucked up underneath their arms. They walk away from everything just to see a dream come true. So God bless the boys who make the noise on 16th Avenue. There's a quiet little cafe in the middle of this town, where they gather up the poets every night and in the round. And they sing the songs that made them great, and the songs you never knew, the ones they say they'll never play on 16th Avenue.
Well, I'll tell you my story on VH1 and all of my personal hell, and how my dad beat me and how much he drank. If you think it'll help my records sell, I'm the radio star with the cars and the clothes, the fancy guitars and the spoon in my nose. You know, in my world now, anything goes, and you all wanna be me, and I'll be gone in a week. Well, I'll hang out with Brittany and Fred Durst, and I arrived in a limo, and I'll leave in a hearse, and I can't decide now which part is worse, losing my life to the game or losing the fortune and fame. 'Cause I'm the radio star with the cars and the clothes, the fancy guitars and the spoon in my nose. You know, in my world now, anything goes, and you all wanna be me, and I'll be gone in a week. Well, you put me on TV with all the cool stars like Letterman, Conan, and Jay, 'cause we're all experts at the art of PR, and nobody knows that I'm gay. Living la vida loca. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
This is a family show.
I'm gonna get sued. I'm just kidding. He's all good, because there was a whole thing on his behind the music about how he... So I'm the radio star with the cars and the clothes, the fancy guitars, spoon in my nose. Come up to my hotel, take off your clothes, and you all wanna be me, I'll be gone in a week. I'm the radio star. 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 And I want it that way. Thank you, and welcome to the Bluebird. This is Mr. Neil Thrasher. Mr. Wendell Mobley.
Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Edwin McCain. Why do I have to follow you?
Hey, it's either him or me. Come on, say something.
Go ahead, Will.
Speaking of getting roots and stuff.
Yeah, we haven't rehearsed this. We do it when we do the Bluebird, but we don't ever get together. The Wing Brothers, that's us. What key you do this in? G. Are you trying to remember the words?
She's the last girl thought I'd ever see here. But there stands a preacher's daughter holding a beer. Tattoo of an angel on the small of her back. Tell me how cool is that? How cool is a hot summer night? When the sun's up and everything feels just... Can we start over? Do you guys have editing in those things? Okay,
Well,
cool.
let me tell you what you did first.
Pay up.
You
What'd I
left
do?
out a verse.
Dadgummit, I hate it when I do
Pay
that.
up.
What?
Pay up.
No, I'll get you afterwards.
All right.
What's that all about?
Nothing.
Okay.
We had a bet going. You screw up before us.
All right, here we go. A little song we wrote with Andy Griggs.
No, you kick it off. I'm following you. You're gonna screw up. You remember the second verse?
You got it.
Yeah, whatever.
She's the last girl thought I'd ever see here. There stands the preacher's daughter holding a beer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tattoo of an angel on the small of her back. Tell me how cool is that? She probably don't remember me, it's been a long, long time. About then she turned around, kinda stared at me and smiled. She said I had the hots for you in Sunday school class. Now how cool is that? How cool is a hot summer night when the stars line up and everything feels just right? How cool is knowing inside that I'm the one she's looking at with that look in her eye. You got it. I'm guessing this isn't going to make the show.
How'd it start?
Something about pushing her hair back. That's all I remember. We're on TV now.
We shouldn't have thrown it over here.
Pay up.
We're not
I'll write you a
stopping.
check if
We're
that's
going to get
okay.
the third verse.
Okay. Oh, you still seeing old what's his name? No, I'm asking you.
Oh, what the?
Pushed your hair back or something. Come on.
Pushed your hair back and said. Pushed your hair back.
Should I do something
Well,
else?
she sat down and I asked you. I see it right there.
Sat down, that's right. Here we go.
Well, she sat down and I asked, you still seeing her, what's his name? She said, has it really been that long? No, a lot of things have changed.
Let's not talk about the past. How cool is that? see here. Just stands the preacher's daughter holding a beer. Oh my God, thank you.
Rain Man. Rain Man.
Glad I'm not the only one that happens to.
Jeez, one joint in high school.
Are you
See what
kidding?
happens?
And he didn't inhale.
I know.
This presentation on Turner South is brought to you by GMC. From professional grade people come professional grade SUVs. At GMC.
I wrote this song. We were writing for the album Messenger that we put out, and somebody got the wise idea that I should go somewhere to write, because you can't be somewhere and write. You always got to go somewhere. So they borrowed a big house up in Woodstock, New York, and flew me up there. And the cab drove me out in the middle of nowhere, and it's snowing, and they dropped me off, and there I was standing on the front porch watching the cab drive away into the snow, and I realized I was stranded. And that I hadn't been alone in 10 years. You know, I mean, I've been with tour buses full of people, you know, people to talk to, and about 2 minutes into this, the walls are closing in on me, and every noise in the house, I'm looking around, and I keep waiting on the kid in the tricycle to turn the corner and go, "Red Room," you know. So I called up Enterprise, and they came and picked me up.
They're one of your tour sponsors now, right?
Well, I wish. They didn't bring that. They brought a regular car, not with all the paper on it or anything. But so I was on the way to the airport. I called a friend to come up and hang out with me, so I have somebody to talk to. And I was on the way to the airport. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. There's this place packed full of people, and I'm thinking, man, that place must have pretty good food. It was a strip bar. I pulled over and wrote this down.
Another beautiful morning under stars and bars and F-Series pickups and rusted out cars, eating breakfast at the strip bar just to have a peek. The beer-soaked angels spread their wings and they dream of 20s and diamonds and things. Somehow that might ease the sting of the company they keep. Yeah. The vets still talk about the town fencer, and the freshman boys all look so pensive. 'Cause living large is so expensive. Hope Daddy fueled the jet. We'll fly off to the Hard Rock Casino. We'll put on our neatly pressed fine chinos, and we'll laugh at the guy in the El Camino. Is that the only car he could get? It's a beautiful life. Just as advertised. It's all for one low price. Just read the fine print and you'll be content with your beautiful life. Smoothies say what a sound, and you're the greatest thing we've found. But you're gonna have to lose a couple of pounds. Gonna put you on TV. And don't you think our place is so swank? Don't worry about that guy, he's high on crank. Exactly why his last record tanked. And let that be a lesson to me. It's a beautiful life. Just as advertised. It's all for one low price. Just read the fine print and you'll be content with your beautiful life. And all our churches glow. Communion wafers, trash, TV shows. Say, hey, at least you don't have this strife. 'Cause you'll be warm
and safe with your beautiful life. And well, it's hard to tell what's true compassion when it's dressed up in hair and nails and fashion, and the tabloids all rush to cash in on what we should believe. And I hope I never see the day when there's nothing on the planet left to save, and oxygen is the designer crusade as we all fight to breathe. It's a beautiful life. It's just as advertised. It's all for one low price. Just read the fine print and you'll be content with your beautiful life.
That ain't country. But I like it. This song was started up here at the corner of 12th and Division. There's an adult bookstore on the corner.
Man, I forgot my stripper song, man.
This is supposed to be a serious song.
Whatever.
Anyway, I was sitting there at a red light, and I look over at this place, and there's about 150 X's in the windows lit up, going everywhere, every angle, up and down, sideways. Anyway, I did the same thing you did. I looked there and I wrote down 4 lines and wrote this song. And I was fortunate enough to have Reba McEntire cut it and put it out. Stuck at a red light outside in a dull bookstore. His son said, "Daddy, what are all those X's for?" As the light turned green, he changed the subject fast. Started talking about football as they drove right past. What do you say in a moment like this, when you can't find the words to tell it like it is? Just bite your tongue and let your heart lead the way. Let's get out of here. Oh, what do you say? "17 years old, she was out with her friends. They started drinking at some party. She was 3 sheets to the wind. Her mama always told her she could call no matter what. Well, she was crying on the front steps when her mom showed up. What do you say in a moment like this, when you can't find the words to tell it like it is? Just by Bite your tongue and let your heart lead the way. Let's get out of here. Oh, what do you say? Sometimes you gotta listen to the silence and give yourself a little time to think. Her every breath was weaker than the last. And lately when she sleeps, she talks about the past. Her husband knows that she's tired of holding on. She looks at him and says, I just want to go home. What do you say in a moment like this, when you can't find the words to tell it like it is? Just close your eyes and let your heart lead the way. Let's get out of here. Oh, what do you say in a moment like this, when you can't find the words to tell it like it is? Just close your eyes and let your heart lead the way. Let's get out of here. Oh, what do you say? Ooh, what do you say? Thank you.
Coming up next, get your South on. Rick and Bubba are born, bred, and bona fide. Straight out of Birmingham, it's late night laugh, Southern style, on the Rick and Bubba Show. Followed by the Natural South, tonight only on Turner South.
Take me out to the ball game.
I'll do a song that I wrote with Neil and Gary LaVox. It's on the brand new Rascal Flatts record. Actually, it's the title cut. It's called I Melt. Help me out here, Neil. Come on. Help me out here, Edwin.
We've actually done this song in public, but I sang it the first time.
You want to sing it this time?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I've never sung it with you. It's special. I feel so special. Don't stop. You know what he's doing, don't you? He forgot the words.
Light that candle. Is it one candle?
Those candles.
Those candles. Okay, let's start again.
Tell them the story behind the song first.
Sausage.
You tell them.
No, you tell them.
No, I don't know the story. What is the story? Neil and I were lying on the couch.
Ain't nothing wrong with a man laying with another man.
Listen, I just
We're
want to
just
go
laying
on.
there.
I can't.
And his wife walks in. Walks up to the fireplace. Oh, I'm sorry,
I don't
Edwin.
know. I just can't see y'all spooning on the couch.
We were face to face.
We were writing. Actually, I was on the love seat. You were on the couch.
I hope.
We were in my old house. He was on the couch. I was on the love seat. And lights. It was real bright in the den. It was about midnight.
We were slobbering by that.
We were having it wasn't a co-write. It was
What are we getting?
It was
Right.
a co-slobber. Yeah, we were just, dead, brain dead, and it was just. So about that time, my wife walks around the corner.
In a negligee.
No. You wish. Anyway, and she comes in there and she lights 3 candles on the mantle. Turns on the fireplace. Doesn't say a word. Turns around. Turns out the lights as she's leaving. And created an atmosphere. And I started doing that. And Wendell started the song lyrically.
Why you light those candles up there on the mantle, setting the mood? I'll just lie here staring, silently preparing to love on you. I can feel the heat from across the room. Ain't it funny what a little flame can make you wanna do? I melt every time you look at me that way. Never fails. Anytime, any place. This burning me is the coolest thing I've ever felt. I'm Don't know how you do, but I love the way I lose it every time. And what's even better is knowing that forever you're all mine. The closer you can get, the more my body aches. One little step from you is all it takes. And I melt every time you look at me that way. It never fades. Anytime, any place. This burning me is the coolest thing I've ever felt. I'm I melt every time you look at me that way. It never fades. Anytime, any place. This burning me is the coolest thing I've ever felt. I melt. I melt.
Get on it.
Yeah. Trying to remember this. I just wrote this. I was down in Enterprise, Alabama, writing.
Roll Tide!
Writing with a young guy named Tyrone Coleman, and he grew up in Vidalia, Georgia, and he used to play in a little bar that still had a sign up that said no colors allowed up until last year. And they would let him play in there until if if he finished his set, they'd throw him out, you know. But they'd let him play music. And I just can't believe that's still going on, but I guess it is. So as long as it's still going on, it's people like me and everybody else here, you gotta fight racism every chance you get.
Footsteps from that Sunday march faded out into the dark. The melody blows in to ease the pain. 2,000 years and we're still here, fighting on the same old fears. The muddy steps of hate can't stand this rain. Well, I'll stand up on the stage as if it was my altar, and I'll face down all the rage. No, I will not falter. You say I'm good enough to play, but not good enough to stay. And when you finish your song, boy, you gotta be on your way. And if I'm good enough to play, then I'm good enough to stay in your heart. Mat on the floor says welcome, sign on the door says no, says no concerts allowed unless you're playing in the show. And I've never seen the color except the ones up in the sky. And when I see this kind of hatred, all I want to do is cry. Well, I'll stand up on the stage and see if it was my altar, and I'll face down all the rage. And no, I will not falter. You say I'm good enough to play, but not good enough to stay. And when you finish your song, boy, you gotta be on your way. And if I'm good enough to play, then I'm good enough to stay in your heart. This one's for the Godfather, Duke, Ella, and the Count. For all those who fought their way here, no matter the amount. For all of God's children walking through dumpsters in the back, had to finish the show and leave just because their skin was black. Well, they stood up on their stage as if it was their altar. They faced down all the rage, and no, they did not falter. They were good enough to play, but not good enough to stay. And when they finished their songs, boy, they had to be on their way. And they were good enough to play, and somehow they've always stayed in our hearts. In our hearts.
Coming up next, get your South on. Rick and Bubba are born, bred, and bona fide. Straight out of Birmingham, it's Late Night Laugh, Southern style, on the Rick and
Bluebird Cafe. Next Monday, he spent his early days with Lyle Lovett.
All right.
Now he's bringing his hits home to the Bluebird, including his double platinum smash.
Yes, I admit I got a
Get to know David Ball.
That's a working guitar right there.
Live from the Bluebird Cafe. Next Monday night at 11 Eastern on Turner South Television Southern Style.
If everything today were this easy to predict, you wouldn't have to plan for tomorrow. But we know better. We're Southern Company, the leading provider of energy to the fast-growing Southeast. Growth that's helped us produce more than $10 billion in revenues, so we can continue to grow sunrise after sunrise after sunrise. We're Southern Company, energy to serve your world.
At GMC, being professional grade means you do things better. So we gave Sierra more horsepower than Ford F-150 or Dodge Ram. We gave it more standard towing capacity, too. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. Get 0% APR for 60 months for qualified buyers on a new 2003 Sierra. Or get $3,000 cash back. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
You're welcome. This season, the Atlanta Braves and the Texas Pete are teaming up with you, the fan, in support of the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Every time you buy a Texas Pete product, you are a part of the team. Texas Pete, in partnership with TBS 17 and Turner South, will donate $10,000.
Get right with it. She drops a handful of creamers down in her apron, yells 2 over easy and a side of bacon. Corner booth. If the jerk at the counter says one more word about her backside or her pink skirt, he's gonna wear his food. Sometimes she hears that little chrome bell in her sleep, wakes her up in the middle of a good dream, where she's not counting quarters, she's not taking orders for anyone, from anyone. She's got her head on his chest, that Mexico sunset. Yeah, she could feel his hands, the rush, the heat. A girl can dream, can't she? She rolls out of bed, spends about a half hour as a wannabe rock star in the shower, singing out of tune. Takes a look at herself through the steam on the mirror. Cloudy as it is, it's never been clearer what it's time to do. She cashes in that bag of change for a window seat. The sound of those southbound rails rock her to sleep. But she's not counting quarters, she's not taking orders for anyone, from anyone. She's got her head on his chest, that Mexico sunset so real. Yeah, she could feel his hands, the can dream, can't she? Oh, can't she? She drops a handful of creamers down in her apron, yells 2 over easy and a side of bacon. Corner blue.
This presentation on Turner South is brought to you by GMC. From professional grade people come professional grade SUVs.
You want to do the one? Sure. So we rode. And I met him, his cousin was our first bus driver ever. And I remember, I'll never forget, the night before we got our first tour bus ever, for some reason, Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi was in a hotel bar, and I was all giddy about it. We're getting a tour bus tomorrow, and he goes, "Oh, I remember that day." But his cousin was our driver, and back then, this bus we had was called, they all have names, you know, and our bus was called the Drifter. The problem was that people thought that that was the name of the band, so you had all these old codgers going, "Is that the original Drifters?" And poor Alan, because we, you know, back then you take whatever gigs you could get, and it didn't matter if you had to drive from Mississippi to Maine, you'd make the gig, you know, and poor Alan would be driving at 27 hours in a row, you know, and we'd go up there about after the 20th hour, and you'd say, "Alan, you okay?" And he'd go, "I'm up here." And his face would get all twisted out. He looked like a cartoon character. We did some bad things to him. That wasn't nice. We kept him on the road a lot. We called that bus the Lake House because every time it rained, it would just rain inside of there, too. But we were happy. Anyway, we all wrote this and started out just writing it for anybody, and then they made me sing the demo. Because they're, you know.
Yeah, we did a little work tape.
He made us pay him.
We were at my house doing the work tape. We're just going to do a loop and acoustic guitar and all that. I've got this racing simulator at my house, and Edwin gets on it, and it's like hook up to the computer, and you can race people like all over the world, and it's really fun. And I got the little track thing done, and 5 hours later, we still couldn't get Edwin off the NASCAR game.
One more race, I'll be up in a minute, yeah. You know.
And you went home and bought one.
And I went home and bought one, and I started having to go to NASCAR Anonymous. I'd be up at 5 o'clock in the morning racing people all night long, you know. And, you know, at 3 o'clock the Italians show up, you know. At 5 o'clock the Australians show up, you know. Got rivalries in all these continents, you know. Anyway, here we go. She's got an inner child, a little tame and a whole lot of wild. But as crazy as it is who she is. She smiles, she frowns, and she's sunshine, and she's clouds. Emotional to say the least, but that's okay by me. 'Cause when I everybody, from the beauty in her eyes to a little battle scar
perfections and every little flaw. I want it all. And sometimes the light